Welcome, friends, it is I, your host, Scarf, and it's time for the newest vlog. Not a Sunday vlog, because I got here late. Now, as you know, we had a vlog 2 weeks ago. Didn't have one last week because I tried to make it before I had to go after the Twitch, and I was just too dang tired to do it. It was a bit of a mess, so didn't have one. And I am back. I am sick as balls. I just took some Robitussin, so hopefully my throat will hold for the next 20 minutes. So hopefully that lasts. Now, in the background, we got a Smite match here. It's a spectated match. And unfortunately, it's 10 minutes in. Couldn't get the first 10 minutes. Now, I'll tell you a bit about the first 10 minutes. So we're fighting DM Brandon and two members of Juice. And these guys, they're talking over Mumble or whatever, and they're coordinating very well here. And it's very good to see how well a coordinated team can play. And unfortunately, you don't get to see the first 10 minutes, but you get to see the next, 20 minutes of this game, seeing how well they coordinate. And it's something to really look at and go, damn, that's pretty good. I'm on the other team against them, and I'm playing with a random subscriber, and we're not coordinated at all. It's just playing straight, no talking that besides the chat, and we have a hell of a time fighting these guys. So it's interesting to see uncoordinated against coordinated and seeing what can really happen there. My team wanted to surrender a few times because it is DM Brandon, but me and my sub refused because we thought, how many chances you can get to fight DM Brandon and two members of Juice? It's going to be a good match, gotta see how it goes, and it was a good match. Win or lose, it was a good match, and that's why it's worth showing, just so you can see how well the opponents, which is DM and two members of Juice, coordinated, just to see how well they did. What you missed, though, is the first 10 minutes was counter-jungling to a very well-done degree. The mid, Poseidon, and Arachne, which was DM, were counter-jungling our Thanatos very well. Everywhere Thanatos went, they kept taking the jungle away from him, they kept pushing him away. He has very low level against everything else. He had to go to soul lane to get some levels. He had to just scramble for any jungle possible to get some levels. He had to just really go anywhere and everywhere to try to keep it going for himself. And he died a bit. We got ganked a few times. But we were able to recover, and the fight stayed interesting the whole way through. It was a pretty rough and crazy match. And there you go. You get to watch that. Now, I'm planning not to go the entire length of the video. So you got to watch the whole thing. It's pretty good. See how it ends. And let's see here. Smite stuff. So Geb's not coming out yet. Very disappointing. Geb's not coming out yet. It's going to be a rebalancing patch this Wednesday. Not too much, though. I believe Era said it's only going to be items, and they're going to update the arena map. They're going to nerf Teleport. They're going to nerf Hog. And he spoiled on Sunday that there's going to be a new 1k consumable, you can only buy at level 20, that gives you double damage for 5 seconds. And this can make or break team fights for sure. I don't know what I think of it, though. I really don't. Like, late game, I get it, but matches, I don't know. I've been in a lot of matches, and they can go long. But by the time you get to the point where someone can buy one of those potions is pretty much at 30 or 40 minutes. And those matches usually only go to 50 or maybe even 60. Longest match I've ever been in was a 90-minute match, but that's because both teams were just doing so well. This 2x potion can do some amazing things. People are doing the math on it. John Quay can do about 5,000 damage with it. Anubis can do about 6,000, almost 7,000 with his ultimate with that potion. Vulcan can do about 5,600 at max with his ultimate with that potion. It's like, holy crap. That is a lot of damage. That is a good way to end a fight right there. I don't really know how well that'll go if people right now in Upper are going, this is a really bad idea. And I agree, I don't really like the idea at all. I really don't. I think no, I don't. I don't like it. That's initial opinion though. But I really, no. I don't know how I feel about that at all. Now, a problem I have with Teleport. Now, Teleport, unfortunately, solo lane, of course, is kind of a boring place because it's where sustainabilities fight. Like, we're starting to see some hunters be there, which is pretty good because hunters can do really well in the solo lane. But sustainability is usually what you see in the solo lane, and because of that, they get teleport, and with that, they're just in the lane forever, pretty much. And by taking away teleport, this sustainability would be fine, but people like hunters trying to experiment in there, and the few assassins that can do solo lane, I think it might hurt them a little bit, I'm not sure. I think I'll really have to test it out, but if teleport's getting nerfed to what I think it might get nerfed to, I don't know how solo lane will be. It'll be probably less comfortable, which is fine, but I don't know. I like the ability to just teleport back and forth, so you have this grudge match, a tug of war going back and forth. I find it very interesting to have that tug of war there in the solo lane, but at the same time, it can get pretty boring, so we'll see how this shakes things up. Will it be an improvement? Not an improvement? I don't know, but we'll find out as soon as that patch comes out. And yeah, hopefully there is a Chalk nerf though. As much as I love Chalk, I have to agree that his heal is a little ridiculous. And it should be brought down a little bit, because he has ridiculous sustain. I don't think the damage on his ability should be brought down at all. Maybe if they do, maybe a few points, maybe 5 or 10 points, but nothing too major, because his damage is all he's really got. He's only got 1 CC unless you count his slow, which is not that good unless you get a Witch Stone. or Frostbound, but I really think he's all about the power and the sustain, but he could tone down his sustain a little bit. His power is still fine, I think. It's just that sustain makes him a little ridiculous. But I don't know, probably don't need to nerf him too hard, but he needs a little bit of a nerf there. I've coped with the Arachne change. Arachne can still wreck house in a pub. That's never changed. And I just don't like that you can't play her better than you could. Because having all those eggs meant you could have a really good control of the map for your team. And that would be really good for competitive play. Not being able to control it's not so great. You're all about just the one-on-one. You're all about Xing someone out. That's fine, but I don't really find it very viable and competitive. I'm still disappointed in that, but I can still pub hard with her. As you guys saw with Nesting Arachne, that is pretty viable in Arena at least competitive as well. Not competitive, but in League it's effective. I've been giving people a lot of trouble with that, and we'll probably see me in Silver in the next month because of that. Because it just works out way too well. It really does. As far as Silver Conquest, I don't know. I don't know. Arena, I feel, is a lot more chill than Conquest is in League. It really is. People are really serious in both, but Arena I've had a lot better feelings about than Conquest. Because Conquest people just flip the F out, while Arena not so much. So we'll probably see me in Silver Arena next month, unless I get tied up in time to do other things. But most likely I should be able to pull that off. I only need to get about 7 wins to get into Silver. I'll probably try to get the 10 anyway, but it shouldn't be too hard for me to get into Silver, so I'll do that. So we get a little bit higher level play in the Arena. If I can get the gold, then great. If I can't, then oh well. But at least we'll have some silvers we can look at if I want to do that for a video once in a while. That's really what I think we'll do, since you don't get demoted anymore, you only get promoted. Probably slowly try to get us into the higher levels of ranked, so that we can experiment with builds in higher level rank play instead of just pub levels. Because some people give that more weight. I don't really think you should give it more weight. I think casual is just as good as ranked unless you're in the higher levels. Like right now, casual is better than bronze. I can tell you that for sure. Casual and silver, depending on the match, probably a little bit better here and there. Gold and beyond is definitely where you'll see a better level of play than you'll see in casual, I believe. Until the population gets up, then gold eventually will get filled with people who are not so great that just filtered in because they got enough wins. So then it would become, what's the next one? Not silver. Platinum? Or diamond? Whatever the fourth one is, will become the new higher level play that's better than casual. And then eventually you have to get into the final one to get better than casual, just because population increases will increase all of the ranked rosters, and that's how it will go. Because eventually bad players will trickle up if they have enough perseverance for it. But I'll always be on the bottom rung of it all because I don't have the time to play like 50 matches in ranked. I only have the time to maybe play 10 or 20, which is just enough to get into the next level, but not enough to get to the final level. Which is fine with me, because we have so many things we're going to work on, and casual is still a fun place to play. I think that's everything for Smite, besides just talking about Twitch. And I'll talk about Twitch now. I'll talk about Twitch now. So, as we know, we've been doing like 12-hour Twitches. We're going to try to do it a little bit different for a while, just break it up to maybe 4-hour Twitches. Do it at one time, and then maybe on a different day or the same day, do it later on in the day, and play Smite at both of those times. And then maybe we'll have another Twitch for just random games. Because you know how we do the 12 hours, we do like 4 or 5 hours of Smite, and we do another game, then we do another game. And the reason for that is just the way human nature is when you first play something, at that day you gotta warm up a little bit, and then you're really good, right? Your peak moment. But after a couple hours, you start to fall off. And this is just the way human nature is over time you just get worse at something. In that period. Over time, as you play something, you get better at it overall. But as you're in the moment of something, the longer you play, the worse off you get. And you can tell that in any long gaming session, that's just how it is. So that's why we play Smite for a couple hours and we play other games. Now, since we're going to break it up into like 4-ish hours, we'll probably do Smite for either all of the hours or maybe 3 of the hours and then an hour for something else. Probably maybe do something like that, just to break it up and have it for more people. Because the idea is to reach more people. Like, I enjoy the stability of the guys we play with, like Finch and Chin, all those guys. Love those guys. But there are people who want to play with us that haven't had an opportunity to, and you got to give them a chance to play with you, you know? And sometimes you have to change up your times to do it. Now, I'm not going to play it. Maybe one night I'll play at midnight, my time, to try to reach people in whatever time zone, which might be a little crazy to do. Maybe I'll do 10 to 12, 9 to 12 or something like that. Midnight might be stretching it, but some late time of Smite so that we can reach people in those time zones. And just so other people can play with us. Because it is very fun to play with people. It really is. You can see me get a little annoyed sometimes when I'm playing with some of our viewers and they're doing really, really bad. But I'm trying to get through that. I think I need to work on that to to find the fun in the failure, I think it is. Because sometimes we're playing with different level people. We're playing with level 5s, level 15s, level 20s, level 30s. We're playing with a large number of people. And I understand that, so I accept that we're not going to win every game. But I need to work on still keep my excitement despite the fact we're not going to win every game. I like winning, of course, but there is fun in losing sometimes. And I want to work on that, so I'm going to try to work on that. Because it's not always, it's not their fault if we're losing. They're just new to the game, or they're just not very good, and that's fine. They just need time to learn how to get better, or whatever other reason. That's just how it is. And you can't... Some people will say you can blame people for this or that. I don't think you can really blame someone at level 20 for not knowing this or that. Even at level 30, even though you got to level 30, it doesn't mean you know everything. Like, you can't blame someone even at level 30 for this and that. Now, I can blame an Anubis who's like 10 mastery for doing really bad at that. I can blame that because you're at a point like, holy crap, you're level 10 mastery. What are you doing? But even level 30s can have things they're not good at. Like, if you only have, like... There's a guy who's got the level 30 on Loki only. I understand if he's bad at Ymir, or if he's bad at Tyr, or whatever. He's bad at Athena. I understand that, because he only played that one god because he really loves that god. You know, we have that fan who really loves playing Baka. And when he gets stuck in Assault and he has to play these characters that aren't Baka, he doesn't do that well, and that's just how it is, and you just have to accept that, and it's fine. It's fine with me, at least. That's just how it is. I put him in a situation where he's not playing his favorite god, so he's not going to do that well, and that's just the nature of it. And it's really fun playing with everyone. It's fun playing with y'all. When we do Smite, it really is. Sometimes I just want to win, and I am doing a disservice because of that, so I need to work on that for sure. I know for sure I got to do better on that. I think that's everything for Smite related stuffs. Besides us we're going to have a couple more projects coming out for Smite, like the solo guide. Eventually we'll do the other guides, and also of course the mini guide plan I want to do, and then we have some comedy plans coming out. We have a lot of plans we want to do. We got to just get to work on them to make them happen. Right now they're in planning phases. We got to work on them. I want at least one or two of them to come out in January, but maybe they'll come out in February. Hopefully not, but you know how we do. We make a lot of things. We do a lot of stuff. And because of that, we just end up not being able to make things, the bigger projects, as soon as we like, just because we make so many things. And being sick isn't helping much either. Luckily, my voice is holding up so far, so that's good. I think that's everything for Smite-related stuff, so we'll talk about me, and then we'll talk about the channel. So I was gone for 10 days after the last stream, and I was in Vegas for 10 days. Taken out of context, though, if you heard the way I worded things, it sounded like I was everywhere else. I went to a Hawaiian wedding, then I went to Vegas, then I went to the Rio, then I went to Paris, then I went to Hollywood, then I went to this and that, and I came back here in California. Those are all things in Vegas. All of them. So many locations. I could have gone to New York in Vegas. I could have gone to Italy in Vegas, because they have the Venetian and Palazzo and all that stuff going on there. Could have gone to the Palms. Like, you can just use that as not a euphemism, but as a wording for a palm tree place, I guess. I don't know. But, so I was in Vegas. There for 10 days. Sick off my balls. The problem with Vegas for me is you have to stay hydrated very well, and I was not hydrated as well as I should have been. There's a lot of smoke out there. There's a lot of air conditioning in every building. It was cold out there, so it was dry out there. So I got dried out, and my sinuses broke apart, and I got infected pretty quick, and it was just coughing up blood the rest of the week, and that was not so great. But I tried to push through it and do other things, and I got to play in a blackjack tournament, got to see a couple shows, got to see a show called Dancing Queen, which is a mix of ABBA and disco, which was pretty cool. Like, my parents are, like, they listen to music from the 60s and the 70s and stuff like that, so, growing up with that and the radio and everything, I've heard music from the last century up to now, so I have a lot of music I've heard that I like, so I'm very eclectic, so disco was cool to hear, ABBA was cool to hear, and the other show we saw was the $1 Million Quartet, which is, if you're familiar with the start of rock and roll, it's music from Elvis, Clay Perkins, Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis. And it was based on the one time those four guys met in a studio and they just jammed. It was very interesting to hear all that stuff. And just hearing the birth of rock and roll. Very interesting to hear all that good music there. And then the blackjack tournament. And then if you followed the Twitter at all, you heard a lot of random tweets coming from me about all this stuff. And the thing is, my family is very... we're pretty poor. We don't have a lot of money, but we go to Vegas a lot because my dad is he's really good at the hustle. He's really good to hustle. And so he gets us into very interesting adventures out there. So I got into a blackjack tournament. He got into a slot tournament. He gets into a lot of tournaments, all for free, by the way. He gets us into some very interesting spots. Like you follow Twitter, I was in a $1 million lounge. I was around tycoons, real tycoons. And in the tweet, I was talking about how I'm just eavesdropping on these guys, listening to these random conversations, and one of them was these two old guys talking about Candy Crush. That was interesting. That was very interesting to hear that. And this lounge has like a mini buffet, and it was very interesting there in that I'm waiting in line, and some people shamelessly are just cutting each other to get to the buffet. And it's like, wow, cutthroat there. What? This is just food, guys. It's very interesting to see and hear how the higher paid people are in this small instance, and also that they're still human, that they play games. Candy Crush, come on. But oh my god, these are guys with money that I'll never see that much in like 5 lifetimes. They just rolling into dough, and they do whatever. And, oh, there's this one guy. I gotta mention this one random guy. Dude's like 87. He says his cholesterol is perfect, and he has coffee. He puts syrup and sticks of butter into his fudging coffee, and that's what he drinks every morning. I'm like, what? And he has perfect cholesterol. What is this? What is this? That is random as hell. But yeah, we did a lot of interesting things in Vegas. I was unfortunately sick. I was in a NyQuil coma during New Year's, unfortunately. I got to see the fireworks, though. In Vegas, they do 5 fireworks shows at once at 5 different locations, so you have fireworks all over the damn place. It ain't like in New York where they have boats and stuff doing all that stuff. Not that size, but it's still holy crap. Has one punch to Mother Nature, though, because holy crap, all those fireworks. And yeah. Also, you follow the Twitter. I went nuts about ambition and what I want to do in the new year and how big I want to make the channel. I want to break us wide open. We have some ambitious plans we're going to do to try to just get huge. I can't wait to do them. I just got back. I can't wait for us to do these big plans. They're going to be really fun to do. They will test us as creators. They will test Jinx as an editor. They will test me as an entertainer. It is going to be amazing to work on. Whether it's good or not, whether people like it or not, it's going to be great to work on. I can't wait to do it. I think it's going to be awesome, but we got to do it to see it. So that's coming up, and we have all those ideas for Smite coming up. And oh my god, am I enjoying Shadow Warrior. Right after this, I'm going to work on Shadow Warrior and make Shadow Warrior 6 and 7. You can hear the fun in my voice. You can hear how much I am enjoying that game. It is just such a mindlessly fun game. Just slashing the crap out of everything. Such a fun game. I can't wait to get back on that. And I got to find more games like that, because when we're having all this fun, oh man, it is just awesome. It really is. But I've already made the next LP, and it's gonna be also part of the big ambitious project, and I can't wait for all that to happen. And it's gonna be something very out of left field. It's gonna be something very different. Some of you are gonna like it, some of you are gonna hate. And I don't know. I don't want to say hate, but some of you are not gonna care for it, I'm sure, because that's how nature is. Some people will like something, some people won't, and some people just don't not care. And I'm hoping a lot of people like it, though. This is a very ambitious plan we got. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to be huge. I cannot wait to do it. Oh my god, I can't wait to do it. It's going to be so much fun to do. It's going to be crazy. You're going to hear my enthusiasm when we do this thing. I already know it. The LP, though, is a different kind of beast. The trick to doing LPs is you want to have fun with it, but you also want to respect it in some ways. Like, you want to be quiet at certain points. Shadow Warrior was this crazy fun game where it was okay for me just going crazy with it and talking while Wang was talking in certain ways besides cutscenes. But the LP that's coming up, there's a lot of cutscenes going on, and so you'll have me a little bit muted because I gotta like listen and not talk over them. It's the balance of you want to appreciate and enjoy, and you want to entertain, but you also don't want to completely crap all over your what you're looking at the same time. It's a tricky balance, and I think I do well in some points and not as well in other points in this next LP after Shadow Warrior. But this big project we have that's gonna come with it is gonna be awesome. I can't wait. And I'm talking enough already. We're at 20 minutes. So last thing before the thank yous is feedback. Me and Jinx, we try our best to improve as always. You know how that is. We always are trying to improve. You can see it in our videos. Over time, we are improving. And we always take notes on what we think we could do better and what we should focus on and do more. I know there's plenty of things I can still do to do better at Smite, to do better at LPs, do better at everything. I know there's ways to do better at them. And Jinx critiques me and I critique Jinx, but we're only 2 people. There's always things that we're not going to notice or we're not going to see. So I open it to you guys and gals to make it a whole thing for all of us to get involved in. And that is feedback. So we have an email, scarfplays@gmail.com. That is the official email for the channel. Those of you who can be arsed to do this, those who are willing to do this, please send us feedback. Send us what you think we can do to do better in whatever thing, in Smite, in the LPs, whatever. The channel itself, how do you think we could do better? What do you think we could do better? Or ideas you have that could help us do better, or this or that, or maybe even suggestions for games or suggestions for builds. whatever you think we can do to improve, go ahead and write that out. Criticism, I will try to take, but I'm more interested in seeing what we can do better. But if there's anything you really don't like, then go ahead and tell us. Like if you really are not a fan of, I don't know really if you're not a fan of this or that, or I think the one thing I would really like good critique on is I would really like if you want to critique me on the one-shots. How can I do the one-shots better? Sometimes I think they're really good, and sometimes I think I could have done them a lot better. And I just got to work on that myself. But if you have any thoughts you think that can make the one-shots better, go ahead and say those. Same things for how do you think I could do Smite better and this or that. I should vary it up a little bit more. I've been playing a lot of Bastet and Arachne and Ymir, and that's just because I enjoy playing them so much. And I'm going to vary it a little bit more. But there's certain guys I'm just not good with, or I just don't enjoy. But I got to do better with them and display new ideas with them as well anyway. But there's always room for improvement. And this is all of y'all's chance to help us improve. So go ahead and send feedback. How do you think we can do better on this or that? And any thoughts you think on what are we doing, if you think we're doing anything wrong with the one-shot, how we can do the one-shot better, this and that. And also, one last thing is Hearthstone. Those of you who watch the Hearthstone stuff, right now I'm thinking just following my exploration of builds and getting better at the game. But if you'd rather see arenas or just straight gameplay, or you think I should alternate arena and doing deck building or this or that, or whatever you would like to see that other people aren't doing for Hearthstone, make suggestions for that as well. Because Hearthstone's going to be here to stay for sure. It's not going to be a big thing. We'll probably only use it for vlog footage and maybe on Wednesdays, or maybe a bonus once in a while. But Hearthstone is something I'm going to play for a long time. I really enjoy how deep that game is, so I'm going to play it a lot. But it is not going to replace anything. It's going to be there once in a while. It's going to show up. So if there's anything you'd like to see, if you'd rather see arena of it or this or that, or if you'd rather just see me Twitch this stuff, if you'd rather see a Twitch of it instead of a YouTube of it, then tell me that as well. I can always Twitch Hearthstone battles. The problem, of course, is if you want a backseat game that, I don't know how well that's going to go because of the 30-second lag, and also because I'm just bad at the game. I really enjoy the game, and hopefully I get better over time. Well, you do get better over time, but hopefully I get really good over time because I really like it, and I would love to get up there in the ranks. It's such a fun game. It feels so deep. There is, of course, some randomness to it, but that's it. Everything has some randomness to it. But it's very fun. And holy crap, am I going over the 20-minute time limit I tried to put on myself. So, well, I've been gone a while. But there you go. That's it. We'll have another vlog next week. We'll talk about all that. We'll probably talk about whatever the rebalancing was, how I feel about all this and that. Oh, the next Twitch will be Wednesday or Thursday. And some of you want me to do the patch notes live, and I can't do that. Just because of the way we do it for YouTube. It takes about 8 hours to do a patch notes, plus the God game, the day of. And Twitch would slow all that down, unfortunately. And it just takes a long time. That's how it is. But alright, let's get to the end of this video already. There should be a couple more minutes left on this match that was going on. It was a very interesting match. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and hope you enjoyed the end of it. It's a pretty dang good match. Wish I had more matches like that. It was very tough and very good. Win or lose, it was a very good match. And as always, thank you, each and every one of y'all, guys and gals, for watching the channel, for subbing, for liking, disliking, commenting, sharing, everything. Our growth is dependent on ourselves and on our viewers. That's how it is. You can't go anywhere without your viewers. Or, well, of course you can't go anywhere without your viewers. I appreciate everyone's I will appreciate all your feedback. I appreciate your comments and everything. Thank you for all of that. Thank you for everything. And thank you, of course, to Jinx for all the work she does. And I am just grateful for what we got here. This is a very fun channel, and I want to make us balloon. I want to make us explode. And you know that will always be my goal. So until next time, I'm your host, Scarf. I had fun making this vlog. Hope you had fun watching and listening. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.